All right, so we're going to start on the monthly chart again. We've had a bit of a switch over the last 2 weeks. Just turn off this. So previously, from earlier on in the month, we were looking for price to continue to the high from December. We'd had our failed swing here. Price failed to close below in January. So it was plausible then for price to keep continuing up, and took that January high, but we didn't get continuation here to take out the December high. So this monthly now is looking like an open high, low close, and we've just taken that low of January, and then we've got these other relative equal lows down here for later targets to watch. Quite a quick change there, Jess, in what was a really bullish candle to start with.
Yeah, it really surprised me how quick it had changed, and so late in the month too, right? Because the reversal really just happened like last week.
Normally you get that manipulation a bit earlier on in that first week or second.
Exactly.
So we'll go down to the weekly, and we'll redo our levels here. So we'd been watching this candle here we previously discussed from the 16th of December. That had our monthly high, and we've been trading inside that candle for weeks. Price unable to close below until now. So it's going to be interesting to watch the weekly close here. If we do get that body close below, then it's fair to say next week we could get a plausible open high, low close week as well. Taken out this one. So we've got our equal lows here. We've got liquidity here as well. And so body close underneath this close here, we could look for price to then open up back into this range and then continue down and aim for these lows here. And then we've got our bullish weekly order block here too to watch out for. So these two down close candles are what caused the break of this high.
Ooh, do I see a higher time frame
Area
SBS?
to watch down here for the draw.
Do I see a
So
higher time frame SBS? Is this what you're thinking here?
Let's have a look.
For bullish into this, yeah, you take us through it.
So we've had our, I'll go through and so we've had a break here. That didn't sweep.
Mm.
And then there's our breakdown on the weekly. So really we've got this is the weekly swing here on this time frame, which is only just breaking, and that's not confirmed yet for like a weekly breakdown. Yeah, bullish wise, we look for a reversal down in here. Come back. Seasonality, I haven't looked for a little bit of March. March is normally bearish.
Yeah, March and April normally make low of the year.
Yeah. All right, we'll drop down to the daily. So yeah, this weekly close is going to be very interesting. Keen to see where that comes in.
Right, because if that ends up being a sweep of 2, that'd be insane.
Yeah. All right, we'll clear our chart again for the daily. So we had that. We failed to sweep the high. So we've got our daily high swing here, which is being respected. We can grab our rectangle box for that as a manipulation zone, same as what we do on the 5-minute. So we can see prices come up to 50% of that level. And we look for PD arrays within that zone. Got a inverted bullish fair value gap here, an IBC. And we can do our deviations from that as well. We've got our 1.5. So this is all starting to come out a bit clearer now that we've sort of broken away from this consolidation range, which was looking bullish. We're getting that sell side curve into a buy side curve, and then it's failed to break above. So same as low time frame, if we're looking for, you know, shorts from this zone, and that's okay until we break above and then flip that zone. So we've got our SD 2.5, which could be a plausible draw for today, if we're looking at continuation. And then we've got order block down here that was unmitigated, which we can see on the 4-hour a bit better. So this was the low swing that was responsible for this breakout here. And we can grab our rectangle box on that as well. So from the high to the low. And so this is unmitigated. Price hasn't come back to this yet. Until now. Just touching there. And 2.5. And then we can keep these other ones on for later and for next week. And if we do, I hadn't checked the fixed range volume profile we can do as well. And so point of control is back up here, which we've come under now.
Interesting weekly profile. I haven't seen a like a midweek decline in so long. So long.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really tricky.
It's, unexpected.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, point of interest on the daily at the moment, looking at that SD 2.5, right, what, 536. And then 50% of this order block here as well.
Mm-hmm.
445.
And if that order block fails, then I think it's very possible that we start seeing those relatively equal lows. But until that order block fails, then there's still
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep. And then we've got all this over here as well.
Mm-hmm. Which can get low resistance really quick if that OB fails.
Yeah. And that'll shoot it down to the lower area. We can grab this order block here too. And make that smaller on a lower time frame as well, possibly on the 4-hour. Yeah, so we grabbed this swing on the 4-hour. This is also unmitigated, so price didn't come back in touch.
So clean. So
Yeah.
clean.
And that's lining up with our 4.5. So some nice points of interest there for next week, hopefully.
Fun stuff. Fun stuff. So cool.
Love it when everything starts aligning. It's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. So if we go drop down to our 1 hour and then break up. Let me just remove this. Just break up to the weekly to see how we're going. How the profile's working out. So we do our vertical lines at our TDOs, and we'll pop in horizontal ones as well. So we've got our open, from Monday. We weren't getting much manipulation above TDO here. It was just coming down hard.
Yeah, I thought Tuesday's price action was so funny because it just refused to go any higher than Asia. So
Yeah.
I'm sure so many people were trying to long that.
See, like you don't normally get such a flat top either. Too. Like
Exactly.
there's definitely some liquidity here that's now built up
Yeah. Exactly. And
for
that's the
later.
thing about all of this, right? Is that we are leaving failure swings along the way. So this is
Yeah.
all low resistance for a future trade when we come back up.
Yeah. So later on, if we do get that bullish SBS
Mm-hmm.
after the two sweep, would be lots of points of interest on the way back up for sure.
Which will probably be like in July when July is notoriously bullish. Well, there's plenty of time between now and then to turn, but they have this saying, what, sell in May and go away, and then
Yes. Yeah.
yeah.
Same as crypto, right? Normally.
Yeah.
So normally with our weekly profiles, and we get the high on the 1 hour, and we can map that out, and we'll get our swing for the week. But this thing's just keeps going.
Yeah.
So we hit our 4.5 of the manipulation from Monday here. So we've got our Monday high of the week. So Tuesday's opened and come back up, retested TDO and continued down.
So one thing that I studied in the weekly profiles were like those kind of weekly profiles that transition from like the Thursday into the Wednesday of the following week. I wonder, does Thursday's manipulation have any follow through from here, or did we run that out as well, either Thursday or Friday? Because generally,
From last.
yeah, from last week. So like when we have a late reversal in the previous week. Okay, yeah, we ran that out well over. Okay. When we have a late
Yeah.
reversal in the previous week, that almost always leads to speed in the first end of the following week, right? Because when we have that Thursday or Friday reversal, that's what leads to a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday expansion in the following week generally.
Yeah. Which is a bit nicer to work with instead of a big Friday sell off
Mm-hmm.
like this.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, the whole weekly expansion was on Friday in New
Yep.
York.
Yeah.
And I think that was, if we just had that swing, that was straight down to the 4.5 there
Mm-hmm.
from that first break on the 1 hour. And then this whole leg gives us 4.5 to that continuation low from Monday, which makes more sense because then we've got a reaccumulation zone here
Yeah,
at
true.
2.5.
Mm-hmm.
or redistribution. We'll pop out PO3. Oops. So yeah, open high. This is our manipulation swing here. So just so weak, we didn't get anything like this for the high of the week, which then would have given us a nicer deviation to work with.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is left unmitigated up here because we haven't had any swing up.
Ooh,
So definitely another point of interest, this whole swing. When we do turn around, it's going to become a draw.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Wednesday open high, and then close right back on TDA. So we can grab that swing as well. So we're at 2.5.
And we are reaccumulating here.
Wednesday. Yeah.
Or possibly redistributing.
And then that's straight into that rejection block. The week for the high of Wednesday. Unable to get above that 50% mark. And this was the lower time frame 5-minute manipulation zone as well, that rejected. So today should be interesting whether we reaccumulate, take the high. Interesting to see where TDO comes in. See if we can manipulate above true day open and then continue down, or if we're just going to sweep the current low and then get a TGIF, which if we stay on the 1 hour, we can draw on from the weekly candle, wherever this low is going to come in. And reverse that. And that sort of, at the moment with the current lows, just lining back up with the order block that we have in here. This swing high that caused the break here.
That would set us up for a nice week next week. If we do get the TGIF, that would be so clean for next week.
Yeah, to then open high, low, close. Again, so many equal highs coming in. Do you guys have any questions so far? It was so quiet today. It was quiet yesterday as well in the stream. Not enough memes coming in the chat.
I'm pretty knackered from being in the garden all week. I actually did not trade this week.
So good, getting some of the fresh air, vitamin D, and some pineapple.
Exactly. Oh, Staffy asked the question in the main chat.
Let's have a look.
Oh, his meme.
Yes.
I'm actually like, I'm really salty that I missed the shorts, but at the same time, I'm so happy. So happy.
Yeah, well, you've had such an awesome trade already. It's nice to be able to sit and chill. And that's what I was like yesterday. I was so happy I got a really nice entry in Asia. So like London for me, I could just do all my family stuff and I was not stressed at all. Like, oh, price just hit my TP2 and yeah.
Yeah, you're
And
right.
and it kept going. Yeah.
I resisted. I mean, that was like my biggest trading day ever in my career so far, so I decided to cool off my jets for the rest of the month. And the weather was just so good this week in Virginia after we've had so many bouts of snow. So I was so eager to get outside, and honestly, I couldn't be happier. I'm so happy that I took time away from the charts for just a week.
Yeah. Awesome. So good. All right. Let's should we jump into yesterday's price action? Or today for everyone else?
Mm-hmm.
Let me get the right chart up. And we'll zoom in here and then we can zoom it back out for New York.
Adrian, give me 1 second. I just wanna.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, there we go. I'm good to rock and roll.
All right. So we started the day yesterday with our normal chart setup where we do our PDH, our PDL, we have our OTE of that range. And we've done our fixed range volume profile from the PDH to PDL. I'll just put on our 90-minute cycle here as well. So we can see the quarters. And we had, so the point of control, the most volume came in here. This was the FRVP POC here from doing that. So before we'd had any of this price action in here, we'd already done our pre-chart setup. We saw that the main volume was up here. So there's a plausible chance of price to draw back to there. And this order block in here had also been unmitigated. If we look at this whole section here. So price has just dropped through, hasn't come back to retest any of this. And we had our previous day New York AM order block here. So this manipulation block here that caused the breakout, that was also unmitigated. And that's where the low ended up coming in. So that sort of became our floor for the day until it's broken. And then the quarter 4 AM low to the high here becomes our high manipulation zone, which was also unmitigated. So we've got our zone started for the day. Coming into Asia, and Asia is building liquidity and coming back. We had another order block here for it to come back into as well. So we've come back, mitigated this order block, and come back into this one for Asia. We can see 50% of that being respected. Candles unable to close below. And then we had our, so quarter 2, we've had our change in state of delivery, we've had our breakout here, and it's gone into a bullish swing breakout sequence that we'd mapped out. So we've got our 1's our breakout, we had our 2, and this is where on stream yesterday I was saying, look, I'd like to see some more liquidity build up. So we've got a little bit here. We want our 3rd swing to come up, and then I'm looking for breaks of 2 to enter. And we'll discuss that being around the 2200 open for the 4-hour candle. So I've added that open here, 2200. So I wanted the 4-hour in Asia to open low and then high close, which helped enforce the trade idea.
Wow, what a beautiful trade, dude.
Yeah, so and all based around that 4-hour candle and then aligned with our swing breakout sequence and our zones. So we've come back, retested the zone, broken out, and then we come back to sweep 2. So everyone that enters here and they bring their stop losses up, they get taken out with the 2. Inside the zone, we do our OTE. So from the low to the high of 3, we get our OTE zone. So we had our 6.2 here, or 618, and we look for PD arrays within that zone. And we had our BPR here. So we've got our sell side gap and our buy side gap. That becomes our BPR. CSD, SBS, and PO3, yeah. So yeah, we've got accumulation here, cryptic. We swing it, view manipulation again, and then continue up. And very nice expansion out at the end of, at the start of London Q1. So we had this pre-mapped out. We've had our, so standard deviation 1.5, 2.5. And then I didn't have this one extended because I was looking for the PD arrays within the manipulation zone up here. And the main one was being that POC, that point of control from the volume profile, fixed range volume profile.
Dude.
If we had TP at PDH, like we're in bearish order flow, high time frame, it's highly probable that would not get hit.
Beautiful.
So yeah, didn't want that TP much higher than that.
Yeah.
And we can see it's just swept that POC, and then
There
all
was
that volume's coming again to continue selling.
there was a daily BISI above that, right? Like the previous day high is the low of a daily BISI, but you're not necessarily targeting previous day high and bearish price action.
Yeah,
You
correct.
would want to
Yeah.
target previous day low. Beautiful.
Yeah. So we want to raise around those OTE zones of that daily range, plus unmitigated zones. So, if price is manipulated up here, they've used longs to manipulate the price to then fill short orders to push it down. If there's longs that are stuck there, they need price to come back up. They have to force it up to then release those positions. And that's why you get such strong moves from those zones. So prices come up, trapped longs get released, turned into sell orders, and price continues.
Dude, you swiped 217 points counter trading. Like that is insane.
From Asia, right?
Yeah, in Asia at that. That's wild. Bravo, seriously.
So yeah, 3 different accounts.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
insanity.
I was stop loss to break even after SD 1.5, and some nice continuation. We have another SBS here. So once we broke this high, there's one there as well. For London, and this was where like 312 was in here as well. So anyone managed to get long off that 312 flip, then they can target the high of 3 and plus this high here. So as price was coming back into here, I was still pretty happy to hang on to that last position. Sweep of 2. And then there's a 5-minute ICB flip here too, as well as the 312 candle was down in here. So not a bad entry after this flip with the stop loss down here. If anyone else was looking to get in during London and to continue price up, but when you're up already in premium, it's best just to take that, aim for that 3 high. And that was probably OTE there as well, was that? If we get that swing that started 1 to 3. A little bit lower, 7.9. Yeah.
I don't know if anyone recalls this in OG ICT videos like 2016, 2017. He mentions that 79 is a soup level. Like that's where you're bound.
Ah,
Yeah, that's where you're bound to see like those turtle soup entries, so to speak.
yeah. Freedom's been talking about it a fair bit. Messaged me a few times, showing a lot of the SBS is hitting at 7.9.
Mm.
Yeah, and looking at entries there rather than the 618.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
ICT soup level. Very have to write that down.
Yeah, I actually have it on my fib. I have like OTE on the exact 705 and then 612. I think I have it as like golden pocket or something, and then 79 I have it written as soup. But yeah,
Yeah,
it's great. Yeah, point 79. Your Maya.
yeah. That was our our London manipulation there for Q3. This I think I checked on ES. That wasn't SMT that low either. I think ES made a higher low there, so there's not much room to make a zone for London, and we're already into premium, so I didn't do any standard deviations for this one because really this is our whole zone here
Yeah, at the high
for
two, I
London.
believe it looked like it was going to be like a 1 hour CSD at the time.
Yeah,
So easily, like if we didn't actually get the close above the CSD and into the highs into your manipulation zone. So when we were up there, it was so easy to tell, like prior to news, that that was not going to pan out, that it was gonna reverse lower from there because it never did confirm the 1 hour CSD at that point.
yeah, cool. So if we was it 15 minute?
Oh, maybe 15, yeah. Um, no. So that big down leg. Sorry, if you go back up to the 1 hour.
This one here, sorry.
No, on Tuesday's price action, I believe. So that low prior to that high, the lowest low prior to that high, 12 p.m. on Tuesday, it looks like. Oh wait, no, sorry, you have it right. Wednesday, 12 p.m. Wednesday. So we were about to close above that at that point.
Yeah,
Oh, maybe it
yeah.
was Tuesday actually. Yeah. So once we were getting into that area, it couldn't even close above that. So it was pretty obvious by the time that that candle closed that the day was gonna sell off.
There's a IBC here as well, bullish
Mhm.
fair value gap that's all rejected from too,
Mhm.
and that whole order block
Yep.
um that caused the breakdown. Yeah. Lots of confluence. These bits here are a bit tricky. This is similar to the previous day as well that we talked about. See similar fractals?
Mhm.
It's a little bit more spread out. Yeah, London then continued up into our zone, zone, point 0.5 of our zone, the 50% mark in quarter two. And then we've had our break here. So we can grab this 5-minute break and drag that across. And similar to the previous day where it wicks right up, but still couldn't take the high of that zone. So we can call this our quarter two. And then we can do our count from here as well. So we got 1, 2, becomes 3 down here. And then we're waiting for that 2 sweep. So just got swept here and then again on 5. And we look for the PD arrays within the zone, as well as the OTE from the high to 3. So we're going to either enter on the zone retest in here, or we got the CB here. There's no inverted bullish fair value gap. Or we can enter at 50% of the zone as well. And then, so if we did that CB, top above the high. And then if we'd just done that first swing deviation rather than the whole leg.
Adrian, I don't know if you know this. You know if you right click the fib, you can get the template the same way.
Right click the fib.
Yeah, so click on the fib that you just pulled.
I like this one.
Yeah, and then right click it. Yeah, template right there. At the top.
Oh, template. Oh,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah. So all the time I'm like double clicking on it.
Yeah.
I can just right click and change it. Ah, so good.
That's awesome.
And then, yeah, so we've got 4.5 of just the 5-minute swing here, manipulation. Otherwise, we have that whole leg and look for SD 1.5.
So the question is, did you just reverse it here or
Yeah. Once I close my positions, that's what caused the breakdown. Yeah. And look at that SD 4.5.
Insanity.
Yeah.
Man.
And so this line here, this is the end of the 4 hour, right?
Mm.
You know how we've been talking about those 5-minute swings within the 4 hour.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, more recently, more often than not, those 5-minute swings been going to SD 4.5 during that 4-hour expansion.
Yeah.
And then
Creating
it
that
comes
4-hour
back.
candle, that is so
That's why I'm
gorgeous.
starting to make sure I've got these 4-hour vertical lines on. Good chat. Sorry. Staffy, New York Open was amazing data-wise. 9 a.m. Open had a 92% chance to be retested after it broke the 8 a.m. high. Need an extension above 8 high for the scenario. 0.37%. We need some sessions with... Yeah, we need Staffy in some sessions for sure. Problem is he keeps getting new ideas to test. Yeah. It's like I was talking with Jess last week and going through my mindset when I sit down to backtest, and then I see some cool stuff, and then I go and check it on the current chart, and next minute you're testing 100 different things again. The fun of trading in the puzzle. So we also had the liquidity levels down here. So we had Asia low. We've had London low down here, and that New York PM low, and that all got swept through. And then it's taken out that manipulation zone from the previous day as well. This next 4-hour would have been a little bit tricky. So there's no, so normally for that redistribution, that's where it's nice to get those clean SBSs there too, Jess, with the breakdown. But 2 didn't get swept and we didn't get 3. So you want 3 to break 1, and then we're looking for shorts above 2. And then we target the low of 3. Would have been some frustrating price action, midday price action in here.
Right at 10 too. So, when most people are probably getting on, they're probably getting chopped to death before they even can take a solid trade.
Yeah. They're like, oh, the low's in, we've swept this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, like we have inverted CB here.
Yep.
Yeah. But all it's doing is the new H4, so it's going open high. And we're going low, but then it's closed pretty... so did it close bullish? Close just here. So it's just a consolidation 4 hour, really.
Mm-hmm.
Open, high, low. Yeah. It closed as a doji. And then the next 4 hour, there wasn't even a high. Straight down.
How did the fellas
Q2,
do in the stream
Q3, like
today?
there's no manipulation for the PM here.
Oh,
Apart from
yeah.
this. But after the 4 hour open, there's no manipulation into Q3, you know?
Yep, just
Whereas
straight down.
if you can time Q2 or Q3 manipulation high alongside that 4 hour candle and then map that, then it's a lot cleaner to work with. So if we'd opened, maybe swung the 2 that we had over here, and then we can do our deviation of this and get some levels to that 4 hour candle.
I wonder if people are trading SBS with SMT in different assets, right? Like if they're looking for the formation and it's not happening in NQ, do they take it with ES or YM, for example, and then they have the SMT as well?
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah, it definitely would work.
that'd be a fun test.
Like that's the same thing I look for a lot of the time for when you do get price action like this. If one does then sweep and gives you a high, and then that becomes your manipulation leg. So if ES had come up and swept the highs here, then we would be grabbing our standard deviation from that SMT swing instead of this one.
Yep, which it did not. ES didn't, but YM did, from what I recall
Okay.
glancing this morning, yeah.
So what did that end up being from that? And to 3. Still ran lower. Yeah, it's interesting too. All right. Any questions on this day, on Thursday?
Don't be shy.
Some nice use of SBS within the ranges. So, even carrying on from the PM here, it's a reaccumulation range really for that Asia low that come in. Reaccumulation for London. And we've gone into distribution also with an SBS for New York.
Do you have a win rate for this model as is? Just using SBS into the manipulation zones and...
Not yet. I'm working on it in FX Replay as well to get some stats. Because I'd just been using the zones without SBS previously.
Yep.
Yeah, which I sit around 68%. But then
Yeah.
adding this in, I need to get some new data.
Yeah, I can't wait to... honestly, I cannot wait to test this. This is only our second review together, but I cannot wait to move into testing a 5-minute model with everyone. This is so beautiful.
Yeah, and especially when you can get the moves that go up to around 4 or 4.5, and you get those 2 stages of reaccumulation. Yeah, if we can get one of them a week, that's all you really need.
100%.
And being able to see this, because normally you'd see this and you're like, oh crap, it's had we're in London Q2, we've had a break here. We're going to short this IBISI, but now we know, I can use this count. We're like, hang on, this could be just another accumulation. We haven't gotten into our zone. We've got our point of control up high still. This is unmitigated. We're at 2.5. It's plausible this is just reaccumulation, and we don't short here then. Because previously, a lot of times I'd short this as Q2 manipulation with broken structure. I'm going to short this IBISI. Whereas now having the other confluence and our daily chart setups, it's plausible price going to keep going up and respecting the They're respecting the accumulation zones that we have.
Mm-hmm.
And now using SBS, we can count that out and be ready for that raid.
Yeah, it is really it is an amazing combo.
Yeah. So shall we'll quickly do our daily chart setup and then call it from there? How are you going, Jess?
Yeah, we're good to go.
You good? Let me grab a different chart.
I'm energized now, doing the review with
Awesome.
you.
So we're going to get our daily up and do our PDH, PDL. We already swept that PDL. Is that the same here, right? I can just right click template. Oh my God. You've
I
saved me a
love
few
that
more.
I could teach you something. That's awesome.
All right.
Oh, we've already swept previous day low. Look at that.
Yeah. Hope no one's already taken longs into Asia. Just move this back.
They're like TGIF now.
All right, we're going to do our OTE. And we're going to do our fixed range volume profile. I always forget which one it's under. So from PDH to PDL. And we've got our main volume in here. Which also lines up with our 6.2. It's interesting. If we put our weekly PO3 back on, right in the middle of the chat, and just look at this again.
Mm.
I need to reverse. Move them out of the way. So depending where the low comes in,
Mm-hmm.
we could get a bounce back to that OTE, and then we've got that volume in here as well. And that is also, sorry, I'll get rid of that weekly candle. Unmitigated order block here as well. So high swing that caused this breakout, that caused the low. So area of interest here a little later on. What else do we need to do? We need to grab our zones. So we had our manipulation zone for the high was here. We'll pop that in. And then we don't currently have one for the low at the moment. So we can grab that current swing that we got. It's still forming. What time is it? 20:30, 8:30. And we have that, if we go back to our daily, we'll just put that other bigger standard deviation on. And grab that SD 2.5. And that 4-hour order block that we're looking at.
Ooh.
Didn't quite hit that SD 2.5 there. Respecting this order block quite nicely. So it's wicks down, closed above. And we reached the extension of, oh yeah, we've done that easy. This one from New York PM. We need to put in our PM high and low. My indicators has dropped out. That's annoying. I think when I've gone through, I hate it when that happens. You go through and you're just deleting some previous stuff on your chart, and then you delete an indicator that you've set up.
Yeah. I do it all the time. You don't have your template saved for your indicators?
No.
Okay, we'll go over that another time. But
I'll just see if I've got it on another chart on my other screen.
yeah, it's super vital with indicators, especially after I joined Kingline actually, because the combination of indicators. But I saved the template that way. If I accidentally delete one, I can just go back to the template and it'll pop it all right back up with my old settings.
Just mean when you go like save as default settings on there, or
Uh,
there's an additional save.
it's different for templates. If you click on those four squares next to indicators,
Yeah.
then in that you'll have the option to save the indicator template. And it lets you save it per interval as well as per asset or instrument.
All right. Let me just get these levels.
Oh
Zoom
yeah,
in a
you
bit.
can just do undo as well. That's right. You can just keep going
Yeah.
back
It'll
over.
just undo what I've just done on the chart.
Yeah, of course.
So NYPM high. What is this one here? And PM low. In quarter two. So if we've done our PDH has taken, if we do come up and take this high, we can look at a similar setup to yesterday, coming into 2200 if it doesn't want to go down lower. So then we would get our, let me draw this a bit better. We get our breakout. That's our one. We get our low. 2, get 3. And then for the 2200 open, we sweep 2. And then come up. And then we can do our standard deviation. From here. It all sort of depends where the low of the week is going to come in. Whereas if we accumulate here, and we just sort of stay ranged into London, then we could look for another sweep. maybe even to hit this 4.5 or 50% of this order block here. And then we get our break. And then we've got our TGIF levels, 0.2, 0.3, New York PM low, New York PM high up here. And that's at our OTE of that daily range. And we have that point of control here as well from the volume, from the fixed range volume profile. And we've got our chart set up. If we keep making more lows, then we can just continue moving the TGIF fib down with the lows as well. Do we have any red folder news today?
We did.
On a different browser.
Cozy, TGIF is currently set to the current low. Like, yeah, the low after sweeping previous day low. And the news today was 8:30 a.m. PCE as well as 9:45 a.m. orange folder PMI. Oh, sorry, that's tomorrow. I'm lying. Today was GDP and unemployment per usual.
Yeah, but because I'm already Friday, so we're looking at 8:30 manufacturing
Oh,
PMI.
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah, cool. All good. So yeah, for TGIF, we're just looking for those where the end of the week low is going to come in. So whether it's now or whether London wants to then sweep Asia low. Then we've got our 4 to 4.5 standard deviation from this PM manipulation swing. We can put our put a box on that as well. Points of interest, and we've got 50% level there also of that order block that we're currently bouncing on. So we're looking for those change in status of delivery. So whether that happens now, and then with Asia and what I was looking for yesterday, so you can get that double confirmation where you get a second breakout as well. Isn't a bad idea, especially when we're super bearish, rather than price just coming up and doing I think we talked about this yesterday too, just doing another bearish swing breakout sequence and then taking you out. Whereas if you get that second confirmation, then it helps, as well as being down in the we're in discount of that daily range for extra confluence. And then you can enter here after this second breakout. Yeah, so that's the chart set up for the day. Exciting things to look for. And yeah, if we can pinpoint that low of the day and low of the week, then you can work on those TGIF levels. And we've got our confluence up here for price to come back to. And it's just waiting for those confirmations. Monthly TGIF also in mind. Where does that come to, Cozy? Let's have a look. That's our low there.
Mm.
It's going to be heaps far across now, isn't it? That was the 0.3s of both lining up, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
PM session low.
Yeah. Confluence. Yeah, nice area around here. So if this does break through, we could plausible we get another BPR here. If we can get a displacement straight up, and we have fair value gaps on both sides, that becomes our BPR. And then we can also do our fib or our OTE wherever that third swing lands. So not the first one, that becomes 1, 2, 3. We want that third swing. We do our OTE to there, and we'd look for that 6 1A area plus the BPR or the inverted SIBI here if it does break out here for our entry points. Stop below the bottom of the zone. Yeah, it should be interesting whether it's Asia or whether London comes back and sweeps Asia. Let's see if we get that TGIF.
Beautiful stuff, man. I love it. It's great.
It's been fun. Enjoy doing Fridays and chatting with you as well.
I'm assuming you're not trading today, especially that it's the last day of the month.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy to just watch and do some other jobs and keen to see what happens here. But especially like I had that nice trade yesterday. And I don't want to ruin the week with doing something wrong.
Yeah, agreed.
Today, I mean, if we get a nice breakout and it's super obvious, I might put on just one micro, but otherwise pretty relaxed and just keen to see how the day plays out.
Beautiful. Thank you for the review. This was amazing.
Yeah. No worries. Well, shall we call it there?
I think so. Any questions, guys? Is everyone having a good month? Are you guys all making money? You guys are so quiet. I hope no one is getting wrecked.
Amazing review. Thanks, Cozy. Appreciate you having you in here as well and yesterday.
Good to know, Cryptic. You're also driving. I hope you're done driving.
What's it like, Cryptic? Like if you're just listening to voice, is it all conveying across okay without seeing the chat?
It's pretty mechanical, I will say, right? So it's as you're going through the daily review, especially, I think that's he can pretty much visualize it if he was watching price
Yeah,
in real time. Oh,
that's good. All right, guys. Thanks, Jess. It's been good.
my pleasure.
Hope everyone has a good